Hello to all of you involved in Gloucester City Youth. Jim Hart's been in contact with myself and he would like for me to just talk through my career at Gloucester and some of the experiences that I faced in playing for this great football club. For those who don't know me, my name is Tom Webb and I started playing for the club from the age of 16 all the way through to the age of 34. Now, when I was 16, I was picked up to play for the youth team, which was under 18s at that time. I know so many of you are starting at the age of under 9 all the way through to under 18s now, and I would say that's the biggest difference from when I played in that area. I was playing local football for Long Levens, and then I got the opportunity to come and play for Gloucester City Youth at under 18 level. And I would say the biggest thing I noticed straight away was from playing local park football to then being able to play at Meadow Park, and at the time it was probably one of the best non-league football grounds in the country. And I'd say it was an absolute honour and privilege to be able to do that. Now, no football journey is the same. If I think about my football journey, I started playing sport and football because I love playing. And I think whatever position or aspirations that you have, whether it be from playing to the highest level that you can, you should always come back to that first thing of that love of playing sport and football. And certainly I hope to put that across to you today. So the first thing I'll talk to you about is a few setbacks that I've had in my career and also some setbacks that the club have had in recent history as well. Now at the age of 16, I was having a good season and I was picked up to play for Luton Town Football Club. And as you're probably aware, at the age of 16 in year 11, that's where the opportunity to get a scholarship, a YTS as it was called then, to then hopefully go and be a professional football player. At the age of 16, Luton Town said to me, we don't think you're good enough. And at that point there, it was probably one of the lowest points in my football journey. Having someone turn around and tell you that you're not good enough to play professional football really did impact me at the time.
We're having a word with Matt Williams. Not sure what he's done, but the referee's not happy with it. Curtis Guthrie swapping places with goal scorer Luke Rogers in the wall. Miller delivers a great ball in. It's gone all the way through. No, it's come off Tom Webb. Tom Webb, now he doesn't score a lot, but when he does, they are big goals, and that is a big goal right there. Forest Green Rovers scored about 2 minutes ago. City have a free kick. Miller took it. It looked like it went all the way through. But Webb was the one celebrating. So it looks as if Tom Webb has grabbed the equaliser for Gloucester City. It's now Forest Green Rovers 1, Gloucester City 1.
I think through playing football, you're going to have a real range of emotions, and football is like no other industry. So I've talked about the idea at the age of 16, having a huge setback of somebody telling you that you're not good enough. And I think you really got to come back to actually why you got involved in playing sport in the first place. And for me, it was just the pure enjoyment of playing football. So I always wanted to play at the highest level I could, and I was really privileged to play for Gloucester City over such a long period of time. Some of the highs throughout my career would have been the playoff final, when we got promoted into the Conference North. And throughout that season, we were quite a small squad of players on one of the smallest budgets in the league, and we ended up getting promoted into what is now where the club is now in the Conference North. I'd say that was one of my biggest highs as a player. Throughout my time though, there have been some lows as well, and one of the lows was when we were flooded in 2007, and for many of you, you wouldn't have been born at this point, but Gloucester City ground became flooded and all of the flood water went up to the crossbar. And for a period of time, over 13 years, Gloucester City were a club that played at Cheltenham Town, Forest Green, Cirencester Town and Evesham United. And as a club, the big setback was, okay, we're away from Gloucester, how are we going to get back? And it's been great to see the club go back, and I'm hoping, as you probably are, that you'll get to go and watch Gloucester very shortly when the COVID-19 situation changes. I was lucky enough to go back for their first game back, and I know there was only 1,000 fans able to go, and I'm sure some of you went that evening. And I hope that's really gave you a taste of what it's going to be like to play at Gloucester City now they're back in the city. But in terms of setbacks, the club at that point in time, really, the fans and the local community really rallied round in the owners to try and keep the club going. And as a player playing for that club at this time, we were probably had one of the lowest budgets in the Conference North. And I'd say one of the greatest achievements that we did was actually maintaining the status of the club at that level of sport. And alongside that, we had many different FA Cup runs where we got to the first round on many occasions, making match of the day. But as I've already said, football is like no other sport, and I'd say one of the biggest things that you've got to remember is that the people that you're playing with, the coaches that are helping you to develop, because now I've taken a step back and I've retired from playing football, I'd say that's one of the greatest things as well, that you get to meet people that you played with years ago and share the experiences that you had of playing football to the level you did. So my next biggest setback was at the age of 34 when I went and saw a knee specialist, and I was hoping that I would go in for what is known as a cortisone injection into your knee. But I turned up and I've walked into the meeting room, and the doctor said to me, you need to retire. You need to stop playing football, you need to stop running, and the only form of exercise that you really should be doing is swimming and cycling. Now at that point, that really hit me and really affected me, the thought of not being able to play football again. But I was lucky enough to get involved with the club and remain involved in the club as a coach for the next season. And I would think it's kind of, on reflection of that, it's kind of, if you've played football all of your career, I was very lucky to play for all those years. And at the age of 34, it probably was about the right time for me to finish playing. But I would say in terms of setbacks, that was the biggest one, because all of a sudden on a Tuesday, on a Thursday night where we would have training, where you would turn up with 20 other players and you'd have that social element as soon as you turned up into the changing room. You'd have that physical element of training your hardest for 2 hours in the evening. And that mental side of competitiveness, release of stress. And all those three things and not being able to play really were taken away from me. But it's kind of, how do you find other things? And I think this kind of relates to you guys at the moment. We're in lockdown. You're not able to socialise with your peers. You're not able to go to training. And it's kind of probably having an impact on your health. So you've got to really set yourself high standards when you're at home. And I would be looking at any player that's played for this football club that has gone on to better themselves past non-league level. What stands out for me is their attitude and their application. What is it that you are doing at home to make sure that when you come back to playing, you are going to be at a higher standard than those other players? And I think it's a really important time to be really focusing on whether it be some HIIT sessions where you're going to get yourself physically fitter. You're all capable of going out for runs and maybe 12-minute runs, right, trying to keep yourselves fit. And there are lots of different skills and techniques that Jim's going to put online so that you can see, you can really work to develop in your garden so that you are really ready to come back in and perform at that highest level. So if I think about some of those players who've gone on and got into professional football and having gone through Gloucester City, I would say it's all down to their attitude and how hard they're willing to work when they finish training, the best players stay behind and they carry on practicing. They will midweek, they'll be going to the gym and they'll be looking after their bodies in terms of eating healthily, making sure they're looking at video clips of how their performance went. And I think it's for you now really to spend this time thinking about how you can improve as players so that when you do come back, you can really kick on with your careers. I hope all of your families are okay in these strange times, and on a personal note, I really look forward to seeing you all train midweek at Meadow Park, and hopefully get to see some of you play for Gloucester City in the first team in the near future. Good luck with your careers, and I'm sure I'll see you no doubt at Gloucester City in the future. Good luck, bye bye.